Hello, dear viewers. Hello, dear fans. Welcome once more to the GCE panel online. But unfortunately, today we are going to be looking at HND revision, Higher National Diploma. And in this paper, we are focusing on those who are doing engineering mathematics. Okay. Throughout this video, too, we are equally going to school those who are leaving for advanced level to the higher institutions, those who like to do HND, and various opportunities that are available for the different students, especially the Anglophones, all over the national territory, especially those who are residents in Douala or in Yaoundé. We are going to give you updates about opportunities, where you can study, how you can study, and in English in the language that is convenient for you. So make sure you follow this video to the end and don't forget to subscribe. Secondly, make sure that you follow the video immediately after this one, because we'll be talking about the different institutes here in Yaoundé, the ones there in Douala, and in many other parts in the country. So stay tuned. This paper is captioned for software engineering and many other engineering departments. Discrete mathematics 4 hours, and is being presented by your one and only host, Dr. Miles Online. Stay tuned. All right, so the first institute we're talking about here is ISPA, Institut Supérieur Polytechnique Les Amandins, ISPA. In this institute, you can study both in English and in French. But mind you, if you are studying English, you are studying English, and your classes are not joined with those who are doing French. So you are studying either in English or just in French. This institute is located at Komkana, not far away from Immeuble Macabo, a very, very common place. So ISPA, you can easily call it Les Amandins because many people know the location. You can study many different branches of engineering in management and many other social sciences. Here, I'll be talking so much about the various opportunities, fees, and a lot more. It is not far away from town, and it's in this area where Anglophones are mostly located, around this Etokobe and the MRC side. So the transport fare from there to school here is not much, especially where we have the agencies too. To move from there to this place is not far. Equally, if you are living at central town around Provence, Longkak, and all of that, you can equally easily move from that place to this place, even from Colbison. I'll be talking more about it as the video advances. Let's progress. So section A, this paper is normally made up of 4 sections, and the first section is made up of 40 multiple choice questions. This is for HND level 2, okay? HND level 2. And note, according to our motto, for you to actually succeed, you first of all need to have a mastery of your content. From there, you move to accuracy. When you become accurate, you can now include speed. With these 3 parameters, which are not only coincident, but merge together to form what actually builds up the person. That's what we call it, the builder here. Without these 3, you cannot actually perform to your optimal requirements. So the first thing is content, second is accuracy, and then speed. Speed is the last, but it's very important. Stay tuned to the end. This section is captioned to be written in 1 hour. So the first question reads, the range of data 5, 15, 23, 1, minus 5, and 17 is. Now, be careful with the minus in simplifying, because here range means the largest value minus the smallest value. So here we are going to have the largest value being equal to, we look at this, we are going to have a 17, right? No, not 17, 20. So we have 20, and the smallest one here is negative 5. So 20 minus negative 5, that's going to give us, be careful with the 2 minus signs here. Negative not separated by anything gives us positive. So this is going to give us 25. So our key here is A. If you are too fast on your YouTube settings, you can reduce the speed to about 0.75 so that I'll speak at the normal pace in which you understand. Some people prefer it fast like this, and I like it this way too. Question 2. Given that the mean of 4 numbers is 12, when the 5th number is added, the mean becomes 15. Find the 5th number. So here we have to apply the formula in order not to get confused, okay? Note that a 5th number has been added, and mean is given by the total sum divided by the total frequency, okay? Now, how many numbers were there initially? We have 4 numbers, and the mean of those 4 numbers is 12, right? So, what will be the sum of these 4 numbers? It should be that 4 times the mean, which is 12. So 12 times 4 gives us 48. Therefore, the sum of just these 4 numbers is 48. Now, what will be the sum of the 5 numbers? When the fifth number is added, the sum now becomes 48 plus that fifth number. Let's call that fifth number x, because you don't know the fifth number, that's what we are looking for. So we have 48 plus x to be the sum of the 5 numbers. We know that there are 5 numbers. So the mean of 5 numbers is the sum of the 5 numbers, that's x plus 48, right? Divided by what? Divided by 5. And the question tells us that the mean of these numbers is 15. So x plus 48 divided by 5 gives us 15. From here we can solve for x, right? Simple linear equations. This will give us x plus 48 to be equal to 5 times 15, which is 75. So x plus 48 is equal to 75, right? And therefore our x is going to be equal to 27. Don't watch this video to the end without subscribing. There will be parts that you'll not be able to watch if you have not subscribed, because we have blocked it at the end. So make sure you subscribe so that you'll not be in shock. You want to shock us, we can shock you back. Thank you so much. Question 3 reads: the following information is known about a sample of size n equals 100, the summation x is 200, the summation of x squared is 600. The variance of the sample is, there are 2 formulae that can be used for calculation of sample variance, right? Here we're talking about the sample. So we are going to use the information that we have here to know the formula to apply. So we know that the 2 formulas of our x are based on the data. The sample variance is based on data and is given by sample variance x squared means standard deviation squared, okay, is equal to summation x squared minus summation x all squared, all that on the sample size n divided by n minus 1. So this is the formula we are applying here. So this gives us, you already have our summation x squared to be 600 minus 200 squared on 100, 200 squared here on 100, all this divided by 100 minus 1. So when you simplify this on your calculator, you are going to have approximately 2. Note that all the numbers here have been approximated to the nearest whole number. So our sample variance here is 2. As easy as it is. But make sure that you solve this paper, because if you don't solve, you may think that it's as easy as it is until you solve before you understand some of these concepts. Question 4, the lower class limit of the class 10 to 19 in the data 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29 is? Alright, so the lower class limit is different from the lower class boundary, so you have to be careful with this. So class limit is not the same as class boundary, okay? Class limit is either the lower or upper class value. Like 10 to 19 here, the lower class value, which is also called the limit, is 10, while the upper one is 19. For the boundary, you either subtract 0.5 from the lower class limit or you add 0.5 to the upper class limit. So here, like example in this table, this is class, these are the lower class limits. For 0 to 9, the lower class limit is 0, 10 to 19 is 10, 20 to 29 is 20. But for the upper class limit, these are the values on the right, 10, 19, and 29. So this for upper and lower class limits. For boundaries, is different. For lower class boundary, this one is going to remain the same. That's why I put it in red. Be careful with this. You cannot take a negative number there, okay? Then, for the upper class values, you just add 0.5 to all the upper class limits. So according to this question, what they want is the lower class limit for 10 to 19. So the answer is even there, which is 10. No stress. Question 5. The stem and leaf plot of a data set is shown below. This diagram reveals that the population from which the data is drawn is. So how do you know if it is normal, right skewed, or left skewed? So let's look at it. If you look at it, there's some sort of symmetry. This is a line of symmetry. I've drawn a diagram here on the right hand side. So if you look at this very way, you see that it's somehow normal because it's symmetrical, right? If it's symmetrical, we say it's normal, okay? So don't guess the normality. You need to know the shapes. Guessing is not allowed. So the data is normal if the curve is symmetrical. E.g., this example that we have here is symmetrical, but here it is skewed to one direction, to the right, and this other way is skewed to the left, one of them, okay? All right, normally this one is supposed to be right, this one is supposed to be left. So according to this, what you have here is skewed to the. All right, so question 6. The probability density function f of a random variable x is defined by f of x equals 6x into 1 minus x for 0 less than x less than 1. Find the probability of x less than 0.05. Now this question had an issue because if you solve, you are not going to have the answer here. So we are going to see what we are supposed to do. Alright, so how do you get the probability from the probability density function for probability of x less than 0.05? Since there's an error here, we have taken 0.5, not 0.05, because that's what gives us the answer. So the probability of x less than 0.5 should be equal to, how do we get this? The integral from the smallest value according to this definition, 0 to that 0.5 of 6x into 1 minus x dx. When we carry out this integral, we are going to have, I've expanded this, right? We're going to have the integral of 6x minus 6x squared, which is giving us 3x squared minus 2x cubed from 0 to 0.5. When you take the upper limit minus the lower limit, it's going to give us 0.5. And the answer is here. So our key here is B, as sweet as abacade. See? But the key is that you have to solve as many past questions as you can. You can go to our website, equally you can get a lot of past questions there to help yourself. You cannot get them, get to us, don't have to download them, get to us, but know that if you get to us, get it for you, you're going to pay. So don't forget, you can download it yourself, no problem, no problem. If there are any questions, guys, you can leave your comments right down, but make sure you subscribe, otherwise you're not able to watch section B and section C of this video. Thank you so much, and stay tuned and share this video. Question 7 reads, my student wants to answer. I think she's coming in right now to answer for us. The probability of A is equal to 0.75, probability of B is equal to 0.4, and the probability of A or B is equal to 0.9. Find the probability of A and B. And in probability means intersection, right? So now we already have the various data that's been given to us. So from here, the probability of A and B from the third law of probabilities is going to be given by the probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of intersection B. Now we can make probability of intersection B the subject of this formula. That will give us the probability of A intersection B to be equal to probability of A plus probability of B minus the probability of A union B. Okay? We now fit in the values and we are going to have the results displayed as easy as XYZ. So you need to know the XYZ of mathematics to be able to answer these questions as swiftly and fast as I've said. And note, the first thing is content, second thing is accuracy, and the last, speed comes in. If you have watched this movie called The Flash, you can think at super speed. So you can also solve at super speed. What's this guy? It's crazy. Alright, that's one of my students who's coming around with the bike, so that's why you get all these noises. No, most of the rich students don't straight. Okay, question 8, my student is going to answer for us. Thank you so much. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe to this video. Don't forget to like and don't forget to share. Please, you can share on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on different groups. You know that guys are going to be writing on Monday. That's in 2 days from now. So we need to get this video to as many people as possible. Help us diffuse this video, and God bless you as you prepare your exam. If you are watching this video without subscribing, without sharing, without liking, my brother, you're just joking. Anyway, we are together. Question number 8. A computer goes down when there is a 75% chance that it is due to an overload and a 15% chance that it is due to a software problem. There is an 85% chance that it is due to an overload or a software problem. The probability that the breakdown is only due to a software problem is... Many students last year did not pass this question. Many, if not all. Many solve and the answer is 0.15, 0.15, which is not even the answer. So be very careful with this question. So probability of S only, note, is probability of S minus probability of S intersection O. Look at this diagram I'm going to draw here and you see. So this is S and this is O, okay? From here, how do you get the probability of S only? It is this area that is shaded in pink. That's S only. So you need to know the probability of S. So subtract the probability of S intersection O to have the probability of S only. That's why the question is saying that the probability that the breakdown is due to software problem only. That's S only. So first you need to find the probability of A intersection B or O intersection S. So from here, probability of S intersection O is equal to probability of S, as we saw in the previous question, plus probability of O minus probability of A of S union O. Okay? That gives us 0.75 plus 0.15 minus 0.85. What does that give us? 0.05, right? Now, the second thing to do is, since you already have the probability of intersection O, you need to take probability of S minus probability of S intersection O. So this will give us probability of S only, which is equal to probability of S, which is 0.75. Probability of S, is that so? All right, let me see. Probability of S, okay, which is 0.15 minus the probability of S intersection O, which is 0.05, and that gives us 0.1. Thank you so much. If you are looking for a place or you need orientation on where you can study here in Yaoundé, in most of the schools, or even in Douala, we can give you directions on that, especially if you are an Anglophone or you want to study in an English school. We have campuses at Mesasi if you live at Etudzi, campuses at Omispor, or even if you look at Longkak or Provence, the campuses are not far from these areas. So wherever you live can give you good orientation on where you can study and enjoy your studies. Be it doing management of all these financial courses, human resources, software engineering. You can do software engineering. You have done if you are from advanced level, and you have not done coding before, no problem. But you have done if you have done math and physics, software engineering will be good for you from advanced level because that's what is selling now. Okay. So you have done math, physics, even you have done computer science and you did bit arts, you have done A4, can still help. But know that in software engineering you will need physics and mathematics so much. So sometimes students get into this and they get frustrated. You need to know about this. But if you had O-level physics, you are in a right footing because you have math, okay? So it's not going to be an issue for you. All right, so that's the answer. Now question 9. Question 9. Right, very soon we start. A batch of 25 injection molded parts contains 5 that have suffered excessive shrinkage. 2 parts are selected at random without replacements. The probability that the second part selected is 1 with excessive shrinkage is, so look at the question again. We have 25 injection molded parts which contains 5 that have suffered excessive shrinkage. 2 parts are selected at random without replacement. The probability that the second part selected is with excessive shrinkage is, well, for this question, I think many students always make a mistake with this because they talk about the second part. They forget to know that the probability of the first selection also affects the probability of the second selection. They leave out the second part and then they fail, which is not good. Please note that the first part being selected has an impact on the second. Okay? So here we talk about the second part selected with excessive shrinkage. This is what happens. Either the first has shrinkage and the second has shrinkage, or the first does not have shrinkage but the second has shrinkage. This is the probability, is the or. Since they talk about the second part. For the first selection, the first may have a shrinkage or not. But for the second one now, we are looking at the shrinkage, okay? So if you have to explain here, 5 parts have shrinkage and 20 do not, right? So the probability of shrinkage, of the second having shrinkage means either the first has shrinkage and the second has shrinkage, or the first does not have shrinkage, that's S1 prime, and the second has shrinkage. This is what they're asking for in this question. Don't make a mistake. So here, this is going to be equal to, or if I'm using a tree diagram to explain, this is it. Here we have shrinkage, which is 5 on 25. Here we don't have shrinkage, which is 20 on 25. But note that the probability size is decreasing. So if the first has shrinkage, the probability that the second will have shrinkage is now 4 on what? 24, because the sample space has reduced by 1, and not shrinkage should still be 20, but now on 24, because this sum must always be equal to 1. If the first did not have shrinkage, then for the second, having shrinkage should be 5 on 24, and not having shrinkage again will be 19 now on 24. So what's the probability of the second having shrinkage? If the second has shrinkage, it means that the first had shrinkage and the second has shrinkage, or the first did not have shrinkage but the second has shrinkage. So that's what we are explaining in this formula here. So this will give us 5 on 25 times 4 on 24 plus 20 on 25 times what? 5 on 24. When we simplify this, we are going to have 120 on 600, which is equal to 1 on 5. Okay? So another criminal procedure to have done this, to have just said 5 divided by 25 here. Okay. Now, question 10. A computer center has 3 printers ABC, which print at different speeds. Programs are routed to the first available printer. The probability that a program is routed to printers A, B, C are 0.6, 0.3, 0.1 respectively. Occasionally, a printer will jam and destroy a printout. The probability that printers A, B, and C will jam are 0.01, 0.05, and 0.04 respectively. Your program is destroyed when a printer jams. What is the probability that printer A is involved? What's the probability that printer A is involved? We first of all need to know the probability of jam, irrespective of which printer is used, which is PD, and now the probability of A given jam. Okay? So the probability of a jam is given by the probability of when A jams, or the probability of B jamming, or the probability of C jamming. So that's what we have. This is equal to 0.6 times 0.01 plus 0.3 here times its probability 0.05 plus 0.1 times 0.04. So the probability that the printer jams is equal to 0.025. Now, what's the probability that A is involved? To find the probability that A is involved, it is given by the probability of A given that there is a jam, or a jam given A, probability of A intersection, the probability that A jams divided by the probability of a jam. So this is going to give us 0.6 times 0.01, all that on 0.025. Okay, so we have 0.006, all that on 0.025, which is equal to 0.24. So this is the probability that printer A is involved. Guys, please stay tuned and subscribe to this channel. We are going to take the rest of the questions. After you subscribe, you'll be able to watch the remaining ones. If you have not subscribed, you'll not be able to find the remaining questions. If you're looking for a place to study, please contact us. Bye bye, stay tuned, and see you. Ciao.